Welcome back to the Hardcore Mortgage Show. We are live on the road, the Whiskey Factory, celebrating real producers. Cheers to 5 years. I can't believe you've been around for 5 years. But to my left, I got Scott Goliniak, coach for Mark Z's team right now, and He is boots on the ground, live in action, actually coaching real estate agents to be their best selves. So how's that going for you right now?
Very good. We got new agents coming in weekly.
Yep.
And when those new agents come in, they go through a little program. Once they get through that program, they come over to one of the coaches. We have a few. I'm one of them.
Yep.
And we take them from there, help them with every deal. I don't care if it takes 2, 3, 4, 5 deals, as long as they get moving and get productive.
Yeah, that's
so
solid.
Scott,
it's huge.
You've been on our program before. You've been on the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show Saturday mornings, 9 to 10, and you've been through a lot of cycles in your business career.
I have.
You're coaching right now. What are the topics that you're bringing up to agents right now to get through this time of really low inventory? A lot of buyers out there want to buy houses, right?
Yes.
But there aren't a lot of houses out there. So what are you doing and what are you saying to get these people, your new agents, excited about real estate?
Well, we got to get them educated first, right? We know that just about every house is going to have a multiple offer if it's a very nice house. Well, when that comes, what are we going to do to win that? And what we do is we teach them how to write winning offers. And, it doesn't matter what it is, but we need to educate those agents to get them into production and get them winning their offers. Because when they go in and there's 6 offers, they need to know what it's going to take to be able to get that.
Yeah.
And that's education of what, is it going to be money down? Is it going to be price? Is it going to be appraisals? Is it going to be an escalation? What is it going to be that's going to win? Is it going to be occupancy? We don't know. Educating the agents every single day and helping them and assisting them is going to actually make us a lot better.
So in a nutshell right now, it used to be in real estate, Becky and Scott, that if a house was listed at, just say $250,000, you went in with an offer of about $225,000.
Yeah.
Correct.
Tell everybody out there, not happening. It's probably going to go for over list, right?
You're 100% right. And here's the thing: is sellers and buyers. Everybody and the agents need to know that when there's a house listed, and if it's listed for $250,000 today, that's just the starting point, guys. That's just, we found a number to start at, and we're going to go from there.
It used to be an ending point, right?
Yeah.
It used to be the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you got to start there, right?
Yes. In the past it was $250 or best offer. Now it's $250 or highest offer. Yeah. And I just did one 2 days ago. That's the same scenario. You're educating your client, finding out what they're capable of doing, sending over a competitive offer, and we ended up winning. So that's just knowing how to present your offer to the agents and knowing what you're doing is very key in this market.
Yeah, this is a skill-based market.
Very much.
But when we say skill-based, this is almost taking it old school style, where it's like the things and the tools that I learned in early 2000s when I entered the business.
Yes.
It is hands-on approach, knowing your programs, knowing how to structure a deal, but then also having that personal conversation. There's a lot of happening where people want to hide behind their phones and just text and email. But this is that market where you have to actually pick up the phone and have real conversations with people, because you have to meet them where they are so you can take them where they're going. And the only way you can do that is if you can have these real life conversations on the spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I meet a client for the first time, I will literally take either before the showing or after the showing, somewhere in the house, I will go over everything with them once I find out everything about them. Like, where are you coming from, where are you going, and then from there, what do we have? And they have to understand what it's going to take to get that particular house.
Yep.
And if that house has been on the market for 30 or 45 days, now we're going back to what you're saying, 250, maybe 225. But if it's been on the market for 2 days, you're not getting that property for 2.25. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, more than ever, you really have to know what's going on in your area. Back in the day, we call it your farm area.
Yeah.
But everything's a farm area now, right?
Yeah.
And it's all based on, when you're talking to these agents, it's all based on relationships. We just had Tara here from Real Producers celebrating her 5th year here. It's phenomenal, great venue. We're all here, but the business is relationship oriented. Most businesses, when you're in sales and you're out on the street, it starts with the relationship.
Yes.
What do you tell your new agents on how to cultivate relationships?
So they have to, when they meet a client for the first time, you have minutes to get them. And, you know, a great example, I just took a new agent on a showing yesterday. I met a client for the first time, and everything from the start of them getting out of their vehicle, my conversation starts, my smile, my laugh, everything's on. And they're a fantastic couple that are going to be working with us, buying their first home, coming out of a rental. But you have to build that. You have to be able to get them right away. You have to be able to, you know, in the first few minutes, get them smiling, get them communicating with you. Because if they just get in the house and they're not communicating with you, and you're not building a relationship.
No. Yeah.
So you have to. It starts from the very first few minutes.
Yeah.
And that's what I teach them. That they have to understand. And
we have to figure out what people's goals and objectives are,
yes,
right?
You do.
You got to find out how long are they going to be in the house for? They want 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms. I mean, where do they see their family in 5, 10, 15 years? A lot about school districts too, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that you've got to really know your clients, and it's the same thing on our end too. We just don't do mortgages for people. We set them up for financial success.
Correct.
There's just a lot of uncertainty in the market right now, and what you're talking about is not selling, it's helping. It is making people aware that you can trust people out here. Everyone is not looking to get something from you. We're trying to get you to where you're trying to go, and you can't do that alone, right? Nope. We often say, Gary says, you don't walk the plank alone, right? No. And that's what we're doing, is we're making sure that anyone that's trying to buy a house right now, you're comfortable, but you know what you're getting into before you get into it. And it always comes back to who you're working with matters. Being in the room at this Real Producers event, I've been privileged to work with more than half the room, right? More than half the room has actually been on our show, right? And that is a beautiful thing and a testament to the foundation that's been laid before us, but we're helping other people build those bricks.
Absolutely. And building the relationships like yourself that you built and ourselves we built, they last forever.
Yeah.
And, you know, if an agent comes in here and they're not looking to build relationships with somebody, they're in the wrong business.
Yep.
If they're not willing to listen and learn, they're in the wrong business, because there's a lot to learn.
Yes.
All right, Scott,
sure, yep.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Where you grew up, how long have you been in the business, what's going on in your world?
So I grew up in Canton and in Wayne. I was a hockey player my entire life. I still play hockey. I still play softball. Matter of fact, my new client didn't know him. He's a softball player.
Yeah.
His dad's a hockey player. Guess what? I find out those things right away.
Are you still going yard on 300-foot fences?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Restricted flight balls? Are they checking your bats? I mean, what are we doing there?
Yeah, they're still flying out pretty good. As a matter of fact, we start tonight. So, you know, I played a little college hockey. I got into, I was an engineer. I worked for Ford Motor Company and some other places. And when in 2005 everything went upside down.
Yep.
So I said, okay, I'm going to get my real estate license. It was a little rough going for the first year. Got into foreclosures with Countrywide and Bank of America. Did that for about 7 years. You know, just kind of maintained. Real Producers were really good to me in 2022 in August. I was on the cover there. And from there, that kind of escalated a lot of things for me.
Yeah.
Being able to work for some of the top teams in the state and help them train their agents. And that's what I care about now. I'm really focused on the agents learning and gaining knowledge and becoming successful.
Yeah.
And when I see that, and I see an agent close a deal for the first time, like, it's awesome. It's a great feeling to see that.
Yeah, you never forget your first transaction, your last transaction, but the fact that you are wrapping your arms around them so they don't feel like they're going through this alone, that is a beautiful thing, because I feel like we didn't have that when we first started, right? You kind of just had to like fall out the nest and figure it out. So the fact that we are taking people and we're adding to the betterment of their career by giving them things that we didn't actually have when we all started, that is, my hat's off to you. And there's a reason why the top dogs in the state have you as their coach right now.
You know, I'll mention some. You mentioned that first deal. I can still tell you my first deal.
Yeah.
I was working with Stacey Ramsey. Stacey Ramsey's out here. She might be here today. But it was a short sale.
Yeah.
Who knew how to do short sales in 2006?
Yeah.
So, you know, those are right. You're right. You will remember those for your entire life.
Yep, and they're going to remember who helped them. So when they're the top dog, they're never going to forget who helped elevate them to that place. So hats off to you. So thank you so much for joining us. We're going to see him live in studio in no time for that, for sure. Keep it live, locked in, Hardcore Mortgage Show Facebook page. Got a couple more interviews coming up, and we're really excited about it.